Alright, UFC Noche is this weekend, and this is a pretty massive fight night for the UFC with a title fight actually as the main event. I believe the last time we had a title fight in a fight night main event might have been either in 2020 or before that when Jung Wei Lee fought Jessica Andrade. Either one of those. I remember there was a title fight at some point, but it's been quite a bit, right? So it is interesting that now we're finally getting this title fight. I think it's perfect. You know, Mexican Independence Day, obviously this wasn't going to headline a pay-per-view. Makes sense to make it a fight night. I mean, it sucks that it's at the T-Mobile Arena, not Mexico, but still, this has some pretty decent fights. I'm going to be talking about in this video the main and co-main event. Main event, of course, between Valentina Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso, while the co-main event is with Kevin Holland and Jack Della Maddalena, two prospects in the welterweight division that are looking to get up in the rankings and maybe get closer to a title. So I'm going to talk about both fights because they're both very interesting to talk about. Before we get into that, guys, I want to remind you guys, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share. We're trying to 20K by the end of the year. You guys are the best fan base in MMA, and I truly appreciate all the support you guys give me. Let me know in the comment section below what your predictions are, and I will respond to you guys. I want to first talk about the co-main event between Kevin Holland and Jack Della Maddalena. Now, Jack Della Maddalena has had some problems in the past, right? I mean, he was supposed to fight, I believe, in June. Sean Brady pulled out. He was forced to fight the following week with an opponent with no name, really. And look, the fight was kind of on short notice, I guess you could say. And there's a lot of issues, you know, with the weight cutting so fast. So you kind of sympathize with Jack Della Maddalena because he didn't have exactly the best performance. And a lot of people criticized him. A lot of people wondered, is the hype even warranted for this guy anymore? Look, there was a lot of circumstances around that fight. He didn't look the best, made a lot of fight IQ errors, like pulling a guillotine like 5 times in that fight. But the guy's boxing is legit. When he's standing, he's really good and really satisfying to watch, and Kevin Holland is going to bring that stand-up style. I don't think Kevin Holland's going to wrestle. Now, Kevin Holland is another guy that has a lot of hype. He started off as a middleweight, lost few. Now he's into the welterweight division where he seems to be more at home, right? Like, the guy's gotten, you know, the takedown defense a little bit better now. Or black belt in Kung Fu and Jiu-Jitsu. The guy is a really good mixed martial artist, underrated on the roster in my opinion. And yes, I am a fan of Kevin Holland, but I think it is true. You got to look at what he has done and his skills. He's actually pretty good. I think the wrestling is just his main hole in his game. And I don't think Jack Della Maddalena is going to really bring that to Kevin Holland. But what I think that makes this matchup super interesting is the fact that it's going to be on the feet, but also is that Kevin Holland has extremely underrated knockout power. Like, the dude has power in his hands. At middleweight, he was knocking people out, hurting the top of the elite like Marvin Vettori and Barrett Brunson. Guys that were considerably oversized for Kevin Holland, so the guy does pack power. He's a long-rangey guy, taller than Jack Della Maddalena, and I think, honestly, the game plan for Kevin Holland is to keep this at range. You know, stick to long-range weapons, spinning attacks, side kicks, teep kicks, you know, using the 1-2. Because Jack Della Maddalena is deadly in the pocket. He is very dangerous, and I think if Kevin Holland, you know, uses that jab, uses that, you know, combinations, keep him at the end of the jab, uses his distance, I think he could do very well. And maybe he could even catch Jack Della Maddalena, and I think that Kevin Holland definitely doesn't utilize his size enough. He doesn't use that reach enough. He should really become more of a longer ranged fighter like Israel Adesanya is, because I think in the welterweight division that would cause a lot of problems because he is one of the tallest welterweights, I believe. I think he is the tallest welterweight, so it's going to be interesting to see, can he actually keep Jack Della Maddalena at the end of his jab and at range? And for Jack Della Maddalena, it's of course the opposite. Get into range. Like I said, he is very good in the pocket, a very powerful guy, very nice boxing, and he is, you know, he's undefeated for a reason. The guy is up there. And yeah, my prediction for the co-main event, however, is going to be JDM. I think Jack Della Maddalena is going to win. It pains me to say. I think he's going to win by TKO. Guys, listen, here's how I think the fight's going to play out. The thing about Kevin Holland is he doesn't utilize his size enough. Matter of fact, he'll swing in the pocket at times, use looping shots. He has trouble sometimes getting into range. I think that Jack Della Maddalena is going to really tear him apart. I think in the first 2 rounds, he's going to just clearly win those rounds. I don't think it'll be a brutal beating or anything, but I think it'll be a very clear first 2 rounds for JDM. And then I think in that 3rd round, we're going to see a lot of the shots, you know, adding up. And I think we're going to see him, you know, clip Kevin Holland, drop him, maybe get some ground and pound. Kevin Holland won't be completely out, but yeah, I think that Jack Della Maddalena is going to get some ground and pound in. The referee's going to call it. I think in the 3rd round, maybe it goes to a decision. Both guys are pretty tough. I mean, Kevin Holland lasted through a war with Wonder Boy last year, but of course, timing is everything. He's getting older by the day, but still, I think that he'll probably be able to last a while. But I think it's going to be interesting. Can he clip JDM, man? That's going to be, I think that's really a shot. I think it's either Kevin Holland by KO or maybe submission, but he'll probably get a submission by hurting Jack Della Maddalena. Or can Jack Della Maddalena, you know, get into range and get his shots in? That's going to be the question for this fight. All right, if things look a little different, it's because I had a little technical issue, but we're back. So now I want to talk about the main event, right, between Alexa Grasso and Valentina Shevchenko. Now, going into this matchup and, you know, the months leading up to this fight, I've been thinking to myself, I've been like, listen, I had the impression that the last fight, you know, Alexa did good in that 1st round, did well in the stand-up, but then I figured Valentina dominated the 2nd and 3rd rounds. However, after rewatching the fight in preparation for this video, I don't think that this is the case. Listen, is it true that, in my opinion, Valentina won rounds 2 and 3 while Alexa won round 1? Absolutely. However, I will say, look, round 1 is clearly for Alexa Grasso. There's no doubt about it. She landed good shots. I mean, Valentina had some moments here and there, but still, I think it was mostly Alexa Grasso. Grasso. Second round, you got to give to Valentina, right? The control time, everything, that goes to Valentina. But that third round, although I give it to Valentina, Alexa did have some moments. And at the end of that second round, we did see Valentina, you know, take some deep breaths, because something that a lot of people don't remember is, look, Valentina isn't a grappler, right? She's mostly a kickboxer. You know, she's a Muay Thai world champion. Grappling is unfamiliar to her, so that is going to make her more tired, right? Because she's not used to doing that, right? She's not so conditioned for grappling for 25 minutes, and that's something that's important to think about when you're thinking of this matchup. So immediately after rewatching the fight, I started thinking, like, you know, this fight is a lot closer than I think I originally thought. Look, for Alexa Grasso, I think the story is very simple, right? We could tell in the last fight, Alexa had a massive advantage on the feet. Great hand speed, you know, great shot selection, just finding the target on Valentina in boxing range. She was very patient, and, you know, she had a very high guard, which is weird for MMA, but it just worked. But Valentina, you know, we know what her game plan has to be, right? She has to wrestle. We saw Alexa Grasso, right? She is faster than Valentina. I think she's going to do better on the feet if it's on the feet. Valentina needs to bring this on the ground, and Valentina has wrestled before, right? Against Jessica Andrade, she got that crucifix TKO. So Shevchenko can get victories like that and can grapple. However, my question is, if she can't finish Alexa Grasso, which she is hard to finish on the ground, is she going to gas out in the later rounds? And we saw, you know, in that fourth round, you know, Valentina wasn't able to take down Alexa as easily, right? We saw Alexa stuff some of those takedowns because Valentina got tired. So my prediction, honestly, for the main event is a close decision win for Alexa Grasso. Now, I'm surprised I picked this. I thought I was going to wind up picking Valentina Shevchenko, and yeah, originally I said, you know, when predicting the first fight, I thought Valentina was going to win, and I thought it was a good matchup for her. I thought that she would use those leg kicks, and I thought she would be the better striker, but knowing that she's not, and especially after seeing her breathe so heavy at the end of that second round, it's like, you know, look, if you're going to start wrestling in round one, are you going to really be that gassed in the first round? Because that was just one round of her wrestle. So imagine, you know, 5 rounds. I don't think she'd be able to make it. Like, we already saw her lacking on those takedowns, and Alexa Grasso more easily able to stuff them by the time it got to that fourth round, by the time the fight ended. We saw Valentina slow down. So what I think is going to happen is I think we're going to see Valentina do pretty well early on, and Alexa have some moments, but I think as the fight goes on, I think we're actually going to see Alexa Grasso do a lot better. And it also worries me, you know, Valentina still has the attitude that she, you know, was winning the whole fight last time. And look, while Valentina was definitely on her way to winning the fight, she wasn't winning, right? This idea that she won every single round was absolutely fake. Alexa Grasso clearly won that first round, and I don't know if Valentina is going to be able to correct her mistakes if she doesn't even realize what her mistake was, if she genuinely thinks she won that fight or won that round, because yes, let's be honest, she probably would have won that fight. But yeah, I think it's going to go to a decision, a very close decision. I think we're going to see maybe Valentina do well in the beginning rounds and Alexa do well at the end, and I think it might be close. Honestly, I could see it going to Valentina still. I could see Valentina, you know, getting some takedowns, getting some control time, landing some shots, mixing up her game plan, and, you know, now understanding the real threat of Alexa Grasso. So that's always possible, and I think there are a lot of positive arguments to make if you want Valentina to win, especially, I mean, considering last time she was winning the fight. I mean, her takedowns were so fast, it really seemed like Alexa Grasso was just so behind. But I just think, like I said, I don't think Valentina's gonna be able to do that for 25 minutes, and granted, yes, she's probably gonna be having a more wrestling heavy camp, or maybe last time she didn't. I just don't know. I don't think that she's gonna be able to wrestle all 5 rounds. I think she'll slow down eventually, and I think Shevchenko's a little bit delusional going into this matchup, and understandably so. I mean, look at the women she's beaten. I mean, she's been unbeaten for such a long time, and she was winning this fight, right? So I think in her mind, she's like, look, I was winning this fight, I just got caught, I'm gonna keep on winning. But it doesn't really work like that, because Alexa Grasso is game. We saw it in the last fight. She's good on the feet, can submit Valentina Shevchenko, and has beaten her. You know, you gotta wonder what's going on in the head of Valentina Shevchenko at the moment. You know, there's a lot of questions, right? So I'm curious about tomorrow night, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know who you guys think is going to win. You guys are the best fan base in MMA. I'm gonna be doing a video on Sunday reacting to UFC Noche, all the things that happen. You know, Raul Rosas Jr. is also fighting. A ton of other fun fights on the card, so I can't wait to watch it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best fan base in MMA. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and I'll see you guys in the next one.